Welcome to Bank Director's online training series and the unit on technology and the board. My name is Scott Heemstra, and I am the manager of the financial services team at CDW, a technology solutions provider. Technology touches every aspect of a bank's business, from the front to the back office, and banks are implementing solutions to help better serve customers while simultaneously making operations more efficient. Additionally, banks today are now facing new competition from companies that are using technology coupled with a streamlined, transparent experience to attract customers. Consumer expectations set by leading companies such as Amazon, Apple, and Facebook are all rapidly evolving, and bank management teams and boards are having a hard time keeping pace. In this video, I'll explain what is expected of boards when it comes to technology. I'll also provide some guidelines for board discussions on technology and how technology should fit into your bank's strategic plan. I'll also address how your board should consider new and innovative products, services, and partnerships. Bank CEOs increasingly see their organization as technology companies with a banking license, as Citi's Michael Corbett said in a speech 2 years ago. While you may or may not agree with that statement, it's true that banks are evolving, and digital delivery is a significant part of the customer experience. A survey conducted of U.S. consumers by the technology provider TimeTrade found that 67% like to interact with their bank online and 55% via smartphone. And don't dismiss the preference for digital as being just for the younger generation. Baby boomers are banking online too. Several banks operate off a digital-only model, including EverBank Financial, Ally Bank, and Bank of the Internet. Traditional banks, including Capital One, BBVA, and Customers Bancorp, have either spun off or acquired digital-only subsidiaries. This isn't to suggest that banks should abandon their traditional form of delivery, the branch, but technology within the branch is evolving. More banks incorporate digital signage to promote a bank's products within the branch, or interactive touchscreens, or even biometric ATMs. And it's important to remember that a customer's online activity can bring them into a branch later on. Banks are partnering with or even acquiring design firms to improve their user experience on the bank's website and mobile app. Solutions like digital appointment booking can help drive customers to the branch as well. And then there's the technology your customers don't even see, including the bank's core processor. Many banks still operate using aging legacy cores, making it difficult for them to install more innovative solutions. This not only hampers a bank's ability to meet customer expectations, but also impedes the bank's ability to operate more efficiently, a challenge for the industry that technology can help address. Some banks are even finding ways to turn their focus on and investment in technology into a profit. Silicon Valley Bank in Santa Clara, California, has found a niche as the bank of choice for startups and venture capital firms. Some banks are developing technology solutions that they can then sell to other financial institutions. Live Oak Bank, the second largest SBA lender in the U.S., developed its own cloud-based software solution to make the lending process more efficient, which it spun off as a separate company, nCino, in 2012. Big banks are also looking to profit in similar ways by partnering rather than competing. In 2015, Barclays, Bank of New York Mellon, Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase & Company, and State Street Corporation developed a platform called Clariant that stores client data. Traditional banks still have a valuable role to play in our nation's economy, even with the fintech firms nipping at their heels. But make no mistake, technology should be a key part of any bank strategy. Your board and senior management can't afford to turn a blind eye to this issue. The banking industry spends big bucks on technology every year. The research firm Celent expects North American IT spending to increase by more than 4% in 2016 to almost $65 billion, an increase that is consistent with previous years. Technology has a big impact on a bank's budget, and it's ultimately the board's responsibility to ensure those dollars are invested wisely. Regulators are clear on their expectations for the board regarding its oversight role when it comes to technology, but offer flexibility regarding how this is accomplished. Of course, oversight is not management, and there should be a clear line between the board's role and that of the technology staff within the institution. Examiners will look at the board's governance structure, the bank's organizational structure, and the activities performed by the board to oversee technology. This includes effective governance of information technology, oversight of major IT projects, budgets, priorities, and overall performance, oversight of IT resources, including whether they are adequate and appropriately allocated, oversight of processes to approve third-party providers, approval of policies to ensure that the board, as well as government agencies and law enforcement, are notified if there's a significant security incident, holding management accountable for management of IT risks, ensuring independent and comprehensive coverage of IT controls, approval of an IT strategic plan, which aligns with the bank's overall strategy and is regularly reviewed. These responsibilities can be under the purview of the entire board, or can be delegated, at least in part, to a board-level committee. The regulatory agencies don't require that your board establish a technology-focused committee, so you'll need to determine if it makes sense within your bank's governance structure. Technology committees typically have around 3 members, who are independent directors and meet quarterly. As with all board-level committees, the technology committee will need a charter to define its responsibilities. In addition to the regulatory expectations I've already outlined, a technology committee may also be responsible for evaluating the bank's ability to implement innovative products, services, or processes, understanding the bank's technology investments and costs relative to peer institutions, staying up to date on technology trends and passing relevant information to the board, reviewing business continuity and disaster recovery planning, communication with the appropriate committees regarding technology. Again, technology committees aren't a requirement, but you'll want to consider whether your board is addressing these issues. While cybersecurity is a technology-related issue, cyber attacks and data breaches also pose a risk to financial institutions of all sizes. So you'll want to consider governing that within the risk committee or even as a full board. And it's an issue that the board should address regularly. However, a technology committee could and probably should coordinate with the risk committee to ensure that the bank's systems and data are protected. Of course, technology impacts other areas of the bank, which are overseen by other committees of the board or the full board itself, depending on your institution's governance structure. The technology committee would need to keep these committees up to speed as well. Too many boards lack technology expertise, and having at least one director with the background, expertise, or skills in technology can be a valuable asset in an increasingly digital world. If your board doesn't have a member that you consider to be a technology expert, your board should be looking for one. This could be someone with recent experiences as a chief information officer or chief technology officer in another industry, or someone who is invested in technology companies, like a private equity partner or venture capitalist. If you're in an area with a thriving startup community, you could consider someone with that type of background as well. Advisory boards are another solution. Banco Santander, a Spanish bank, created an advisory board to weigh in on the bank's digital strategy. In the research surveys we've conducted with Bank Director, each year we find that boards want to better understand the technology trends that can improve the customer experience and how technology can make the bank more efficient. Board members also want to know that they're spending the right money on the right technology. Having a tech-savvy board member or two can give the board an idea of the technology trends both within and outside the industry and provide an understanding of what a potential investment will entail. A director with technology expertise might be able to see alternative solutions and will know how to ask the right questions when it comes to partnering with a technology provider. One of the board's key duties is to provide a credible challenge to management on decisions, including those made about technology. If no one on the board has a background or expertise in technology, will directors be able to push back appropriately on decisions or merely function as a rubber stamp? If technology expertise at the board level is preferred, then expertise within your bank's management structure is absolutely critical. Does your bank employ a chief information officer or a chief technology officer? Both positions are increasingly common for the banking industry. A CTO tends to have responsibility for the development and implementation of new technology and should stay on top of industry trends. The CIO is more concerned with ensuring that technology meets the organization's strategic goals. But in many companies, these lines may be blurred between the two roles. Whatever the title, someone at your institution should have responsibility for the IT budget, systems, technology performance, and IT training for bank staff. Your bank's CIO or CTO should have a voice in the bank's strategic plan to inform the board on how the bank's technology can help the bank meet its goals and where technology could be a barrier. Here are some questions your board should consider as part of its strategic plan when it comes to technology. Are we recruiting the right talent to accomplish our strategic goals? What technology do we need to better serve our customers? How does technology impact our M&A strategy? Do we need to upgrade any technology, including the bank's core processor, in order to accomplish our strategic goals? How could technology be used to improve processes or make the bank more efficient? And what should be handled in-house, and where should the bank bring in a third party or partner? Technology needs are interwoven throughout the organization, so the board and bank management should consider establishing a steering committee, which includes senior management and pertinent staff from various business lines and areas of the bank. Your bank's head of technology needs input from all departments: sales, customer service, marketing, risk management, etc., to better address the technology needs of the whole institution. Because cybersecurity is such a key concern for boards, management, shareholders, and customers, we find that financial institutions are increasingly employing Chief Information Security Officers, or CISOs, to oversee cybersecurity, which is a specialized area requiring its own set of skills and expertise that differs from those of a CIO or CTO. Technology is constantly evolving and changing, so it's an issue that should be a frequent topic of discussion for the board. The CIO, CTO, or equivalent should be on the board's agenda at every meeting. Your board may also want to consider regularly bringing in outside experts who can speak about technology trends. For example, a venture capitalist focused on the fintech sector may be able to shed some light on the startups your bank may want to work with or identify potential competitors. Increased innovation in the financial space has created an increasingly competitive vendor marketplace, and banks are being courted by fintech startups while continuing to work with the tried and true core processors who have served the industry for decades. As with any new vendor, due diligence is required. The bank should understand the company, including the employees, culture, and financial situation of the potential vendor. You'll want to employ legal counsel and consult your auditors to ensure you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's when it comes to regulatory compliance. Your board should also ask, how well does the company understand banking? Is the bank ready to use or deploy the new vendor's products or services? And can the vendor grow along with the bank? Regulators are keeping an eye on financial innovation as well. In recent statements, Comptroller of the Currency, Tom Curry, has acknowledged the rise of fintech competitors and recognized that increased challenges for traditional banks in today's highly competitive marketplace. However, these changes in the competitive landscape also concern the regulators, who are charged with protecting the safety and soundness of the banking system. Don't forget, mortgage-backed securities were a profitable, innovative product for some of the world's biggest banks before the financial crisis. The OCC wants to encourage responsible innovation, which the regulator defined in a March 2016 white paper as the use of new or improved financial products, services, and processes to meet the evolving needs of consumers, businesses, and communities in a manner that is consistent with sound risk management and is aligned with the bank's overall business strategy. The OCC is currently developing a framework to understand and evaluate innovative products, services, and processes which would apply to the financial institutions that it regulates. Based on the OCC's statement so far, this will likely include guidance regarding third-party relationships, including partnerships between banks and fintech firms, and guidance regarding innovative products to serve so-called underbanked consumers. The agency also seeks to encourage OCC-regulated banks to integrate responsible innovation into their strategic plans. Technological innovation is encouraged, but banks still need to be mindful of the inherent risks of new products and services. Let's review by summarizing a few key takeaways. Every business unit in the bank relies on technology, and banks are implementing solutions to gain efficiencies and better serve customers. Traditional financial institutions are also challenged by tech-savvy non-bank competitors. Banks are evolving into technology companies, and digital delivery is a significant part of the customer experience. The branch is still important, but technology is important here as well. Digital signage can be used to promote a bank's products within the branch. Interactive touchscreens are being used, and a few big banks have even rolled out biometric ATMs. Consumers often interact with the company online before entering a branch. Technology solutions can help banks address this. Many banks still operate using outdated core technology, which can impede innovation. Some banks are developing technology solutions that they can sell to other financial institutions. Others are even finding ways to turn their focus and investment in technology into a profit. Technology should be a key part of any bank strategy. Your board and senior management cannot afford to turn a blind eye to this issue. North American IT spending is expected to increase by more than 4% in 2016 to almost $65 billion. It's the board's responsibility to ensure those dollars are invested wisely. Examiners will focus on how boards oversee the bank's use of technology, including their governance and organizational structures. Boards should have processes in place to approve third-party providers and oversee major IT projects, budgets, priorities, resources, and overall performance. The board is also responsible for cybersecurity oversight. Technology must be incorporated into the bank's overall strategic plan. Boards can choose to delegate some responsibilities to a board-level technology committee. This committee can also focus on innovation and technology trends. However, cybersecurity should be overseen by the risk committee or the full board. A board member or two with technology expertise can be a valuable asset. A board-level technology expert will have a better understanding of technology trends and will be able to ask the right questions when it comes to making a new investment. An advisory board can also provide these types of insights. Without this expertise, a board will find it difficult to challenge management on decisions made about technology or be meaningful participants in strategic discussions. Employing a chief information officer, chief technology officer, or both is increasingly common for the banking industry. This person is responsible for the IT budget, systems, technology performance, and IT training for bank staff, and should be on the board's agenda at every meeting. Financial institutions are increasingly employing Chief Information Security Officers, or CISOs, to separately manage cybersecurity. Inviting technology experts from outside the bank to address the board can keep board members current on technology issues and trends. The bank's strategic plan should address the necessary technology needed to meet corporate goals. Your board will want to consider the following questions. Are we recruiting the right talent to accomplish our strategic goals? What technology do we need to better serve our customers? How does technology impact our M&A strategy? Do we need to upgrade any technology in order to accomplish our strategic goals? How could technology be used to improve processes or make the bank more efficient? And what should be handled in-house, and where should the bank bring in a third party or partner? Consider establishing a steering committee to address the overall technology needs of the organization. This management-level committee will be led by the CIO or CTO and include senior management and pertinent staff from various business lines and areas of the bank. Increased innovation in the financial space has created a competitive vendor marketplace. As with any new vendor, due diligence is required. The bank should understand the employees, culture, and financial situation of the potential vendor, and should employ legal counsel and consult with auditors to ensure proper regulatory compliance. Your board should also ask whether the vendor understands banking, if the bank is ready to use the new product or service, and whether the vendor is capable of growing with the bank. Regulators are keeping tabs on financial innovation as well. The OCC wants to encourage responsible innovation, and reforms could improve the OCC's process to evaluate innovative products, services, and processes. New guidance promises to clarify agency expectations regarding third-party relationships and innovative products that serve underbanked consumers. OCC-regulated banks will be encouraged to integrate responsible innovation into their strategic plans. Thank you for joining me for this training video on technology and the board.